Herliz Music Studio and Instruments, a musical journey. This is a qualitative exploration of 27 years in music pedagogy, community engagement, and institutional growth. The Roots. In 1980, J.H. Trading House, owned and managed by Cebu entrepreneurs Justino Yu and Herminia Nini Yu, became the national distributor for Technics electronic organs and digital pianos imported from Matsushita Electric Industrial Company of Osaka, Japan. The business quickly expanded, establishing branches in key cities such as Metro Manila, Cebu, Davao, Iloilo, Cagayan de Oro, and Bohol. My mother, Elizabeth, the sister-in-law of Herminia Nini Yu, is a dynamic businesswoman herself and took charge of the Bohol branch. The store was located along MH Del Pilar Street in Tagbilaran City. At that time, the electronic organ was considered a cutting-edge innovation in musical instruments. Introducing it to customers required both technical knowledge and artistic presentation. Since organ playing resembled piano performance, a discipline I had carefully trained in over the years, I found great joy in demonstrating the versatility of the Technics instruments, showcasing their unique sounds, and guiding others in learning their features. To boost and support sales, the company launched the Technics Music Academy in all branches. That was when I first began teaching music in Tagbilaran. We had quite a number of students as every unit purchase of electronic organ offers free lessons. There were small recitals and where I taught for 2 years before moving to Manila to study at the Conservatory of Music, University of Santo Tomas. Even as a student, I continued teaching organ and piano in the city. After graduating in 1992, I embarked on a new chapter, performing with an all Boholano band in luxury hotels throughout the Gulf region. From 1993 until 2006, I traveled extensively. However, by 1998, after 18 years in Technics business, the Bohol branch was forced to shut down. A steep rise in the peso-dollar exchange rate had made imports prohibitively expensive, cutting into sales while operating costs soared. Eventually, all branches of J.H. Trading House were closed. As part of my mother's separation package, she was given 2 Technics electronic organs. These instruments became the foundation of our very own music studio, carrying forward the legacy that had begun nearly 2 decades earlier. The beginning, 1998. After the national closure of the company where my mother had worked, my family decided it was time to move forward and pursue our passion for music. With only 2 electronic organs that had been given to my mother, and despite having very limited funds, we were determined to make something out of it. From this determination, Herliz Music Studio and Instruments, HMSI, was born. The name Herliz is a blend of my parents' names, Hernanito, my father, and Elizabeth, my mother. In October 23, 1998, we opened Herliz Music Studio and Instruments. Our vision was clear: to continue teaching music, pass on our skills to the next generation, and build a business in an industry we already knew well, one that my mother in particular was eager to manage. We offered one-on-one teaching in all the courses. Our home porch, the small living area, and the bedroom on the ground floor was converted into a reception area and lesson rooms. That simple setup became the heart of our first music school. Although we had no piano, I, together with other young teachers, began teaching children on the organ. A close friend who was a vocalist handled popular singing lessons, while another friend taught guitar. In the first year, we only had 2 lesson rooms and had fewer than 20 students. We displayed streamer advertisements along busy streets, and we had student performances in restaurants. Supported by 6 young part-time teachers who offered lessons in organ, pop singing, and guitar, enrollment grew through word of mouth from friends and past clients. Firsts are always historical in nature. Herliz's first students' recital was in June 6, 1999, here in Metro Center Hotel Ballroom, participated in by 78 students. From the first students' recital in 1999 to the 27th students' recital last July 12 and 13, 2025, we held our students' recitals in this same venue here in Metro Center Hotel. We want to present our students in a formal ballroom and give the occasion a sense of elegance and distinction, often associated with a more refined audience. As parents asked for more variety, we sought teachers who could handle other instruments like drums, violin, and bass guitar. Within the first 5 years, our courses had grown to 8: organ, pop singing, guitar, piano, drums, violin, bass guitar, and single keyboard. To this day, as student numbers are increasing, the demand has gone up, and so more teachers will be hired and additional rooms will be constructed. In our first 7 years, we held 1 recital each year. By the 8th year, we added a Christmas recital, which soon became a tradition along with regular performances in malls. These occasions gave children the chance to perform for different audiences, while parents took pride in inviting friends and relatives to watch. Growth and remote operation. Herliz is a sole proprietorship with my mother, Elizabeth, or Betty, in the management. She handles so well the accounts and finance, as well as marketing areas. On the other hand, I manage the teaching side of the business, which is dealing with students' progress and teachers' teaching process, attention to recital rehearsals and production, supervision of students' music skill level, facilitate in their musical needs as to techniques and assessments, monitor student-teacher relationship to comfortably ease up learning, and give proper and positive feedback to parents. As a young music artist who also loved to travel and experience how life is as an overseas band performer, I continued my abroad stints. The simple operating system we had in place worked well with my mother managing the business. Meanwhile, I traveled extensively across the Gulf countries, United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Fujairah, Oman, Bahrain, and Qatar, Doha, performing with all Bahalana groups in 5-star hotels. My way of monitoring Herliz was through remote communication. In the early years, this meant relying on phone cards and calling home from public phone booths, since cell phones were not yet common. Constant communication between me and my mother kept the business going. Even with a little difficulty in distance supervision, there are fewer problems met along the way. Whenever it was time for students' recital, I directed the preparations from overseas, booking the venue, finalizing the recital list, preparing the program, setting rehearsal schedules, and inviting evaluators, parents, guests, and friends. It was not easy, especially with computers and fast communication still out of reach at that time. The formula worked: teaching, annual performances, and steady community presence became the rhythm of Herliz for nearly 2 decades. Being far away came with many challenges, but we managed to make it work. That, as George Herbert said, while there's a will, there's a way. For nearly 18 years since the start, this became the steady rhythm of the studio: teaching, recitals, community performances, all driven by a simple dream. Every year brought more students with the support of part-time young teachers eager to share their gifts. Over time, Herliz grew into a familiar name, recognized not only for developing students' skills, but also for encouraging them to give back to the community. Pandemic shift 2019 to 2021. The COVID-19 pandemic brought unprecedented challenges. Almost overnight, our student count dropped to zero, and for 2 months, we had no activity at all. It was the toughest 2 years for everyone, not just Herliz. Our business took a huge hit because music lessons are not considered essential. My teachers were also affected, and I knew I had to act fast. That's when we decided to move lessons online. My alma mater, the University of Santo Tomas, didn't leave their teaching alumni empty-handed during this challenging time. UST, through the Piano Teachers Guild of the Philippines Foundation Incorporated, whose president at that time was Sir Anthony U. Sai, the UST Piano Department head, extended their helping hand to all the performing artists and quickly connected to each one of all the interested graduates to hop in to the online teaching and online performance wagon to survive in this tragic time and to keep going. We were gathered online, and UST provided us the technical, pedagogical, and digital approach to teaching. The real support was there. I studied if it can be made possible in our own small setup. I followed through, prayed hard, and made the bold move. It was a big investment and not guaranteed to make a profit, but for the passion and survival, it must be done. The purchase of new computers, cameras, and other important gadgets were purchased in a rush, as there was only less supply in the local market, as well as prices went high. Everyone wants to get hold of a computer somehow. Through constant prodding in the City Hall, we got approval from the government to operate virtually, while still allowing teachers to come to the studio under strict safety protocols, masks, social distancing, and regular cleaning. Social media became our lifeline for reaching families, and we also stayed in touch over the phone. Slowly, students began returning, but online. These efforts sustained the music studio and even opened new opportunities beyond Bohol. Some are even from overseas: Canada, Spain, Dubai, and Manila. Parents were enthusiastic about getting their kids into online programs, aiming to keep them engaged and active while confined at home. For the children, it was a chance to keep up with their music studies and remain focused. After those first lessons, we realized just how much adaptability mattered. The children were slowly finding a rhythm at home, and parents began trusting us more with their time and attention. We began trying out new approaches to keep students engaged: shorter, more interactive lessons, small online group activities, and playful challenges they could practice at home. Even though large gatherings were not possible, we focused on making each lesson feel tailored to the student. Teachers connected with learners one-on-one, giving encouragement and setting achievable weekly targets. Flexibility was key. Despite the challenges, we managed to hold 2 virtual recitals at the Metro Center Hotel, one in January 2, 2021, and another in December 18, 2021. Each recital was pre-recorded but performed individually on site, following all safety measures, distancing, mask, no physical contact, and disinfecting instruments before and after use. The effort paid off. Those two recitals not only helped the children and their families, but they also gave Herliz a chance to grow and reach new students. With two recitals, we were also able to help children, parents, and expand our horizon. 2022, post-pandemic. As people became vaccinated, as restrictions eased and establishments reopened, Herliz slowly began regaining its momentum to recover. To meet the growing interest, Herliz brought in new teachers and guided them through training to uphold our tradition of quality teaching. One of our missions is to support LSEN students. We recognize their need and equip our teachers to deliver lessons that closely match those demands. Starting in 2023, we see an influx of students as our registration glided from only 80 to 90 students per season. It has proudly gone up to 190 in the summer. We revamped our program and structured into 3 learning seasons, with each season providing 20 hours of lessons and ending in a recital for all students. Season 1 stretched from January to May. Season 2, the summer term, ran from June to mid-August. And Season 3 carried on from mid-August until December. At the end of each season, all students proudly showcased what they had learned in their recital performances. Part of the expansion is the hiring of more part-time teachers to cater to more students, most especially on weekends. Since transitioning to 3 seasons each year, Herliz recitals have consistently showcased between 170 and 190 students. Each participant performs solo, not in groups, requiring every student to prepare an individual piece for the stage. With such a high number of performers, the recitals have evolved into a significant endeavor. Starting in 2024, we extended the event from a one-day recital to 2 full days each season, taking place from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon on both days. Students' performances are always evaluated by a panel of invited independent music teachers and performers, following a rubric. Since 2023, at the end of each recital, every performer has received a customized medal crafted overseas. This is something every student aims for, aside from the trophies awarded to the best performers in their course level. These recognitions encourage them to perform at their best and continue studying at Herliz. Most students stay for at least 2 seasons, and many for up to 6 years. Music performance boosts their confidence and serves as a tool for expressing their emotions. Remaining family-run business, the studio continues to flourish thanks to my mother's management skills and my dedication to teaching, consistently making an impact on the lives of children, parents, and the community by sharing the joy of music.